Does your Ontario family eat vegan? What will you do for exercise in the snow? Alright, Q&A time. Sorry for the delay. I just have not had the desire, I guess. I don't want to say I didn't have time. I haven't had the desire to do videos lately. I'm not sure why. I think it's just we've been through a lot of changes and we're still adjusting to everything, and a lot of stuff has happened. But yeah, we're just still figuring stuff out and still getting set up. My office here is not quite set up the way I want it yet. I'm going to be converting this closet into my desk so that this whole space I'll have available for filming. It's going to be my sacred space for doing graphic design work, YouTube videos, and psychic readings. So anyway, let's get on with Q&A. First question, what company did you use for shipping? I shipped back east and never seemed so cheap. I use FedEx Ground for my shipping here in Canada. It might be different in the US, but I found FedEx always ends up being cheaper than regular parcel shipping with Canada Post. So check it out. You just have to go online and find a ground shipping office because they don't all do ground. How will I keep a routine with no 9-to-5 work? That's a tricky one because I'm still working on that. I don't quite have a routine set up yet, and I still feel like I'm kind of in between Vancouver time and Toronto time, so I haven't quite got myself into a schedule where I'm waking up at my normal time. My plan is to wake up in the morning, have my water, get into some comfy yoga clothes and come up here and meditate and do some yoga and just center myself for my day, and then take my dogs for a walk or do my exercise or whatever. So that's my plan. I just gotta keep chipping away at it and getting myself into a routine. What are your top 3 tips for anyone planning to do the same? I'm watching and learning. I think it's just about us moving across Canada, so making a big move and downsizing. As far as getting started, I think we really started this process 2 years ago when we started trying to minimalize. And if we hadn't have done that, this whole process near the end, that last month before we left, would have been 10 times harder. So starting now, even if you don't have the plan set in place, I think that just helps get things in motion. So it's just, even if you're not planning on moving, it's always good to just get rid of stuff you don't need, because it just adds clutter to your life, adds clutter to your mind. And then as far as actually making a big move, or relocating or downsizing, there's something in you that wants something and you're thinking about it. Try not to talk yourself out of it. Instead, talk yourself into it. But you gotta make sure you set yourself up in a way that you know you'll still be okay financially, and something that the whole family can agree on. So, damn it. I gotta start over. This is getting long. Alright, I won't start over. I have a habit of starting my videos all over and then I end up filming for an hour. Okay, so I don't know if I answered that question, but yeah, just specifically for us driving across Canada, what we opted to do was get rid of all our stuff except for what could fit in our car and then ship the 2 boxes. I would say look into all methods. If you have good furniture that you don't want to give up, then I would suggest renting a truck if you can, a one-way rental, or if you've got a pickup truck or a Jeep or something like that that can handle a fairly decent size towable U-Haul, like storage cube, I would go that route. But our car is just a sedan, and we would have had to spend maybe $300 on getting a hitch installed, and even then we wouldn't have been able to carry that heavy of a load. And most of our stuff was IKEA and stuff that we didn't really need to keep, that we could just replace if we really wanted to. So what do you plan to do to make a living at your next location? I love the idea of working less and enjoying life more. And yes, we agree. That's kind of what we wanted to do, because we realized we were working really hard just to live where we lived, and we didn't really actually have a lot of time to enjoy where we lived, because our days were kind of long and really only had the weekend, and the weekend was filled with errands and grocery shopping, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, and I think I already mentioned it, I plan to do freelance graphic design, which I'm already doing, and doing psychic readings, and continue with my YouTube. Mainly my YouTube channel is to connect with other vegans or aspiring vegans, and hopefully inspire people to go vegan or stay vegan, or, you know, YouTube's not going to be a big like income thing for me, but I do love doing YouTube, so this will give me more time to do YouTube. But yeah, mostly my main income source is going to be graphic design work and psychic work, and maybe Reiki. I'm certified as a Reiki healer, so I might do some work there too. Does your Ontario family eat vegan? What will you do for exercise in the snow? And will you keep your routine with no 9-to-5 work? Alright, so my Ontario family does not eat vegan technically. My mom and dad actually have been very much vegan since we got here. I think they still had milk in the fridge when we got here, like dairy milk, but they have not purchased any since we got here. And I think I've seen my dad eat meat like maybe 3 times since we got here. It's been really good. So my goal is by the time we leave here that my family will be vegan. I don't know if I can extend that to my brother's family or not, but we can try to infiltrate. What will I do for exercise in the snow? I don't know. I will probably exercise indoors. But I don't know. I used to when I was younger, when I lived here. I sometimes would go mountain biking in the snow, but I don't know if I'm that ambitious now. I could try out some winter sports like snowshoeing or cross-country skiing. I don't know. But most likely I'm going to be exercising indoors. You know, just do walks out in the snow if we're up for it. Do the dogs travel well? And are you bringing your kitty too? My dogs do travel pretty well. Penny kind of could take it or leave it. She doesn't like sleep the whole time. Whereas Junebug, she just gets in the back and falls asleep. But nobody gets sick or anything like that. So they do travel pretty well. And just, you know, we stop and let them go potty and stretch their legs and stop for dinner and all that stuff. The cat actually traveled so well, I'm so surprised. Like, he's like the boss, and I think he's more confident now because of it. I feel like he's like, yeah, I'm the big city cat. I drove all the way across Canada. Hi Penny, come on in. Come on. For the cat, it's really, really important to get your cat used to being in a car. And if they're older, you want to introduce them, well, any cat actually. When you introduce a cat to a car, don't move the car. Just get in the car, sit in there with them, bring some treats and maybe one of their favorite toys, and bring your iPhone or something like that, and or read a book, and make sure you're relaxed, and then just do that. That's what I did for about a month before we left. I just tried to do that. My goal was to do it every day, but I never did every day, but I did it a few times a week. But yeah, it's really important to get your cat used to the car and get to the point where your cat's like rubbing on stuff, and you know that they own that car. It's my car, and that's exactly what it was. And then we started gradually moving the car. So before that, I do like windows, rolling windows up and down, just make sure your cat doesn't jump out. Making noises, starting the car, putting on the air conditioning, getting them all used to that stuff, and then like I only just rolled the car forward and back in our parking spot, and then we did a couple of test drives around the neighborhood, and he was fine. So it all worked out really well, and I'm so happy, because if we decide to buy an RV and travel around, then I know my cat is going to be okay with it. So next question, this is Team Broccoli, I know I can pronounce that. What are the first things you plan to get accomplished when you move into your new place, other than unpacking? Well, yes, it's been 17 days since we arrived in Ontario. And if you didn't know, we moved to Ontario. Where have you been?